Well, good morning. We're going to do things a little differently today. You probably looked at your program and thought, goodness me, what's going on? Do we have 3 sermons? Actually, you have 6, just so you know. As we looked at all the things we wanted to say, we realized we couldn't do them in the weeks to come, so we're going to kind of catch up today. Well, don't worry, the things aren't long. And my wife and I are going to kind of tag team a bit, because we want to tell you about the 6 things. There are actually many more than 6 things, truth be told, but 6 things that we've learned while in Clearwater. And in many ways, what we've learned are the things that you've blessed us with. Jean Flegel is the most wonderful secretary. Let me tell you something. We love Jean Flegel. And in the midst of this move, she came to me one day very sad. She said, Captain, I don't want you to leave. She said, the next people coming in are not going to be as good as you are. Well, I had to kind of put myself in check a bit. I thought, well, I guess I kind of get that. But I said, Jean, please don't think that way. Please don't think that way. Anyway, what would possibly make you think that they'd be any worse than me? She says, I've been here for 5 sets of corps officers, and each one has been worse than the one before. So there you go. Jean didn't say that, by the way. Please don't get her afterwards and chastise her. She would never say such a thing. When you are given that call and you are told you are moving to Clearwater, Florida, it is a very vulnerable moment, because I don't think anyone feels adequate enough to stand before this wonderful congregation. But what's interesting then is the comments that come afterwards, because everybody knows about Clearwater. And one of the things that they said, Commissioner Osborne, is that when you go to Clearwater, you're going to, would you believe they say God's waiting room? Have you heard that before? We were told that by several people. You are going to God's waiting room. That is absolute rubbish. That is absolute rubbish, because what we found when we got here is a vibrant congregation, a hard-working congregation, and a congregation with a focus and with a goal and with a vision. But what we did find when we got here, of course, there are so many Salvationist saints that have retired down this way, but the truth is, in the last 10 years, that number coming down has shifted. People don't retire here quite like they did. So my wife and I, as we prayed about our ministry here, we were told by the Lord that we're here for a very specific reason and a particular purpose. And I would like to say we really felt we had 2 more years in us, but that's just our feeling. God knows different. But as we really prayed about what we should be doing, God impressed upon us the importance of connecting this marvelous congregation full of wonderful people of wisdom, connecting them with that world outside. And so what we've done and tried to do, and we believe we've established a foundation for, is connecting the Salvation Army programs with this congregation, because people need to be connected to you. For instance, if you are a mentor, if you have decided to mentor a child that comes to our worship services or to our youth programs, please take that very seriously. Please don't neglect that. Because these children don't need to be rejected just one more time. That's been the lives of so many of our children. I believe God appointed you to those children, to encourage, to nurture, to raise. For those of you who come on a Wednesday night for the music program that Manny and David have, oh boy, what a program. Musically, it is phenomenal. I can tell you, there's no Salvation Army that has a program that kind of quality. But here's the value. The true value of that is the people that come down, that sit beside these children, that teach them to play instruments just like we were taught. Just like the people who sat down and gave their time next to us. Don't let that diminish. Come sit with those children and be with them and encourage them. On Tuesday nights, boy, there's an enthusiasm on a Tuesday night when the kids come in. They don't come in just because they have to, because their mum say, get on the van and give me peace for a couple of hours. I've seen that before too. They love what goes on Tuesday night. So the volunteers that come down teach those children good character. Boy, we need children with good character. We need citizens of better character in that world out there. But be mindful that we're continually trying to find ways to bring their parents into these meetings, their parents into this congregation, so that they might meet you, so they might have an opportunity to learn from you. But above all these things, all of them, don't miss an opportunity to teach them about Jesus. Don't miss an opportunity to teach them about Jesus. There's a lovely verse from Psalm 71, verse 18, where it says, even when I am old and gray, let's look around. Yes, I'm getting there myself. Even when I am old and gray, do not forsake me, my God, till I declare your power to the next generation, your mighty acts to all who are to come. Pass on what you have to the next generation. This is not God's waiting room. This is a place full of active and vibrant people. And your job continues to be to pass Christ on to the next generation.
Being a parent isn't easy, especially to teenagers. And I think that I spend more time barking, it might be the right word, than I do with my sweet cuddle times. Just this morning, if you look at poor sweet Hope, who's wearing black Converse, because we have no idea in the midst of our moving where her black Sunday heels are. But that's okay. It's okay as I look at her. Being a parent isn't easy. And I believe every generation talks about the next generation of parents and how we actually have it easier in some respects than the one before us with the new gadgets. My sister, who's about to have a baby, the things that are coming out for her new little one, she didn't even have when her 5-year-old was a baby. It is amazing how technology and the gadgets, how it has improved some of this parenting for us. Then we have the reality as well. This world that corrupts and poisons our children with drugs, porn, crime, and it seems to be less and less Christ. The evil seem more accessible, and Jesus is removed. When we moved here, Hope was 15, Michael 14, and Christian 11. Fun ages, and it just gets better. But I have to tell you, you have made an impact on their lives. When I think about Hope's dramas, and one of the first ones she did when she had a little meltdown on the platform. Now, granted, some of y'all thought that was part of the skit, and we appreciate that. But it was a difficult time for her, and yet the love, support, and encouragement that y'all poured into her, because the very next day she had to do something again on Sunday's program, and she did it because she knew that y'all loved her. Y'all knew this was going to happen. When I think about 80 Salvationists that went to see Michael perform in Forever Plaid, he was overwhelmed. The kids, the boys that he performed with, they were overwhelmed at the support that Michael's church gave him. Every time he sang, I don't know how I got that boy's head through the double doors when he was here. Again, the encouragement and the love and support that you gave him. And then you have Christian with his horrible jokes. I mean, wonderful jokes, son. With his little jokes and his never-ending supply of magic tricks that he wants to share with everybody, because y'all are his grandparents, because y'all have given them love and support. He is going to miss his little routine on Sunday, the little hugs he gives, the visiting in the library, all the things that he looks forward to. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. For 3 years, you have helped raise our children by being good examples, by loving them. And believe me, they love it when one or two of you tell me, don't be so hard on them. Oh, you should be nicer to them. They're good kids. Well, they're good kids because I'm stinking hard on them. But they're good kids because they also have a room of examples. Examples that love Christ, share Christ, and pour into them Jesus. It's because of you, for these 3 years, we have had better children. You will never fully understand the impact of your time, talent, patience on our kids who now leave at 19, 17, and 14. It's been a good lesson for me, though. It's been a good lesson that as I transition to DHQ, to how I need to be with field officers and their families, what I need to pour into their children, how I need to respond and love and encourage and support so they know that somebody other than family loves them completely. So I strongly encourage you to continue to do that with these children that are sitting here, those who walk through our doors on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but know that you have impacted me in how I should be to those children out in the field, and you have impacted my babies' lives. Thank you.